Hello everyone, myself Archana Chetan Jadhav, Department of Horticulture, Wagh College of Agriculture Biotechnology, Nashik. Under the vegetative propagation method, layering is again very important method. And in a layering, there are the different method which we use for the ornamental and mostly for the fruit crop. So we will study this method. Layering. Layering is the method of inducing the roots on a stem while it is still attached to the parent plant and then detach it after rooting for the transplanting, and the prepared layer along with the root it is known as a layer. There are the different method in a layering: ground method and the air methods. Under the ground layering method, there are tip layering, simple layering, trench layering, mound layering, and compound layering, which is again known as a serpentine layering. And another that is the air layering, where the root is initiated on a shoot aerially. So first method is a tip layering. In a tip layering, we buried the tip of the plants in a nearmost area. So mostly this method is applied in trellis like a plants. So it is a quite similar to the simple layering also. And the nearmost area which we can use for buried of the tip, from this area we get such type of the new plants, and after the development of this new plant we separate it from the mother plant and use as a layer. Next method is a simple method. Simple layering method is again very popular method in many of the fruit crop like guava, then in a jasmine and in a rangoon creeper or a lemon like ornamental and the fruit crop. Simple layering method, or in this method, the branch is first of all bent to the ground and some portion of it covered by the soil, leaving the terminal end of the branch exposed. The root initiation takes place at the bend and buried portion. After allowing the sufficient time for the root formation, the rooted stem is separated from the mother plant and used as a layer. Then our next method is a compound layering. Compound layering is again known as a serpentine layering because in this layering at a time we will prepare two or the three layer from the single stem. So the method is quite similar with our simple layering method. Only here the long stem which we use for the layering practice, it is alternately covered and exposed along its length. The branch for the compound layering must be the long and definitely the flexible during the bending or alternate exposure or the buried. It should not be break, and that's why it should be the flexible one. And in this way, it is again effective method we can observe in a bougainvillea, jasmine, and the rangoon creeper like a clamber plant. The fourth important method is a stool layering method or mound layering method. In this method, the plant is cut back to the ground level during the dormant season when the plant mostly under the dormant condition and there is a more accumulation of the food material. And in this way, the soil is heaped around the base of the newly developing shoot. Means, first of all, near about at the height of 1 meter, we can totally top work the plant, and after the cutting portion, the new shoots or the lateral growth which is developed from the cut portions, we can again heaped or we can support it with the soil and a manuring like a material, and we can regularly moist it. After certain period of the time, it may be the 2 or the 3 month, we can observe that the newly shoot grown and these shoot part which is buried under the heap develop the roots. So along with the newly developed shoots having the roots, we can detach from the mother plant and use as a separate layer. It is again the common type of the applicable propagation practice in a apple in a guava also. Next method is a trench layering method. In a trench layering method, instead of using any stem, we can totally use the whole plant for obtaining the many layer from the single one. So for this practice, first of all, we have a need to make the plant in a horizontal positions, and that's why we first of all prepared the trenches along nearmost to the plants, and such type of the plant we first of all bend and buried in these trenches, and then the trench are filled around the trench are filled with the soil around the new shoots as they develop, so that the shoot bases are etiolated. Roots develop from the base of these new shoots. Etiolated roots develop from the base of these new shoots. It is again applicable method in a apple, in a lychee, and the pear like a crop. These are few of the steps which we can observe under the trench layering. That is in the initial stage. First of all, we have a need to bend to make the plant in a horizontal line, and in this way we can totally buried or dipped in a trench, and the whole trench is filled with the good quality soil. Then after certain period of the time, when the new shoots are developed along with the roots, we can detach it from the mother plant and use as a separate layer. And our second category or the next important method is air layering. The above method which we discuss, these all comes under the ground layering method, in which as a media we can use the soil. But in a air layering method, where the shoots are layered aerially, we have a need of other type of the media, and that's why mostly in the air layering practice we use the sphagnum moss. In a air layering practice, simply we can first of all girdle the shoots. So we girdle the shoots having 2 or the 3 centimeter length. For the girdling, we make the two cut, which should be near about 2 or 3 centimeter far. And in this way, we can remove its circular bark. For air layering practice, again the selection of the shoots which we can use, it is again very important practice. So the mature, well developed and well grown shoot we need to be select. And before the actual practice of the air layering, first of all we properly defoliate the leaves present on the shoot, and then after this shoot defoliation helpful for the accumulation of the more amount of the food material in a shoot, and then after we can start the actual layering practice. Definitely the girdle area, it should be close to the bird. From the single or on a single shoots we may be make 3 or the 4 number of the layer as per the length of the shoot, and then after the girdle area we can cover with the help of the sphagnum moss. For the fast root initiations we may use the plant growth regulator like indole butyric acid. So we if we apply the root promoting hormones, then we can obtain the quick root initiation. After application of the sphagnum moss on the cut portion, we can wrap it by using the polythene paper, and we can tie the both end by using the sutili. After certain period, it may be 2 or the 3 months mostly for the root initiation. Air layering can need near about minimum 2 months. So during this 2 month we can observe that after the 2 months or within a 2 months period, the root start grow, and through these transparent polythenes we can observe these developed roots. Mainly in the initial stage the root become totally white in a color, and then after it can turn into somewhat reddish or the brownish. It shows the complete maturations or the completions of our practice. The roots which are developed, it is from the cut portions, because at the girdle portion there is accumulation of the food material, and in this way from this cut the more exposure area along with the cambial layer is available for the stimulation of the roots, and the roots are developed. In this way, this prepared layer, first of all, we can detach from the mother plant, and then we can remove the wrapped polythene paper, sphagnum moss, and then we can fill in a polythene bag along with the other type of media like soil and the others one. In air layering practice, we use the sphagnum moss because the moisture holding capacity of the sphagnum moss is an excellent one. It can hold near about 10 to 20 times of water as its weight. So whenever we can retain the sphagnum moss along with the girdle area, this media is helpful for providing the moisture content to our layer. So this is about the air layering practice, and it is a commercial method of propagation in a pomegranate, in a guava, in a fig and falsa also we can carry it out. In many of ornamental plant like rubber, then croton, it is again the successful method of the propagation. This is about the different layering practice which we use in a mostly ornamental and fruit crop. Thank you. Thank you very much.